Dr. Doreen Robin, please, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. You are able to hear me? Yes?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So today in the first session, we were seeing about the different analytics. All right. And the 4 types of analytics. Can one of you say what are the 4 types of analytics we reviewed in the forenoon session? You can unmute them.
Descriptive.
Yes, descriptive
Something
analytics.
prescriptive. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, first one is descriptive analytics, wherein we'll be seeing about the exploratory data visualization. The second, what was the second analytics?
Diagnostic.
Diagnostic, yes, rightly said, diagnostics. So you're going to diagnose what are the errors or anything that you need to go on for curation of your data set. Diagnosis, trying to understand any errors or any patterns. And what is the third analytics?
Predictive.
Predictive analytics, thank you. And what was the fourth analytics? So you're going to
Prescriptive.
prescriptive analytics.
Prescriptive.
Prescriptive analytics. So I hope you are able to understand the different analytics, and then we saw about a classification, clustering, and regressions, right? Classification, clustering, and regressions, wherein you need to use a classification algorithm, where you need to use a clustering algorithm. If there is, say, I'll ask this question. You can give your answers on the chat. If there is a target variable or if there is a labeled data, whether you go for supervised learning or a supervised algorithm or unsupervised algorithm. If you have a labeled data, if you have a target data, you go on for no. Yeah, rightly said, Richard sir. If you supervised algorithm, supervised, when you have a target variable, then you go on for a supervised algorithm. Okay, you go on for your supervised algorithm, right? And then we were saying about the data set. What was the data set we have shared with you? About the kidney data set. Yeah, chronic kidney disease. And now how many of you are using a system? PC is a system. Answers on chat, please.
Recording in progress.
Yes. If you are using PCs, give it as PC. If you are using laptop, give it as laptop. Yes, please. Answers quickly on chat. Laptop, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. What about others? Laptops. Yes. All right. So that's good. We have seen about the theory part of it, and now we are moving on into our algorithms. How are you going to write your algorithms, right? You are able to see in my screen? Okay, so the first analytics we are going to use is about pandas. You remember we are seeing about pandas, the Python data analysis library. Panda stands for Python data analysis library. Python data analysis library. It's very fast. Once the data are loaded into your pandas, what is the type of data type in pandas? What is the data type in pandas? It is data frame. Do you remember? We're seeing about data frame. So you can extract it from any kind of data sets. Okay, it could be from your HTML tables, it could be a comma separated, tab separated values. All right, anything you'll be able to do it. Okay, and now these are the things we have seen. See, it has got two things. One is pandas has got two things. One is an attribute. Listen carefully. One is an attribute, the next one is a function. Do you see any open and close parentheses here? You don't see anything, right? If you don't have an open close parenthesis, then it stands for attributes. Okay, attributes. Say for example, if I'm going to have open and close parenthesis here, it stands for the function, the data frame methods. These are the data frame attributes, and these are the data frame methods. If you are using a pen or something like that, make a note: D types, columns, axis, okay, uh, uh, like in dimension, size, shapes, and values. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, D types, columns, axis, in dimensional, size, shape, and value. Now we have, I hope you should have all loaded the data set. Okay, onto your Colab. We are using Colabs. All right, this is about the kidney data set. First, you need to run it. Then you have to mount your Google Drive, mounting onto your Google Drive. If you don't know how to mount, click on this file onto your top left, and then your folder will be seen. Click it on, then you get a drive. For some, you get like this df.mount off, and then once you run it off, it will take you to another page where you'll get a code. Once you give allow, copy that code and paste it and run it, you will get mounted, Google Drive mounted. Okay, then you need to go and find it out. Where is your data set? We had been discussing the same in the forenoon session. Click on the 3 dots, copy the path and paste it here. And also I told you I've shared the data set onto the what is that error? Okay, and I've shared the data set here onto your Google Classroom. I don't know, only 17 of you have joined. I wish others also to join. I've given the link on the chat of the classroom, so you can go to the classroom. Just click the link, join, and get your data set. Okay, and then these are the methods, right? df.headoff is a method which will show you the first few lines, the first few lines of your first 5 lines. Say for example, if I want 10 lines of my code, then I can give as df.headoff 10. So which will give me first 10 rows. Okay, so you have got lot of data to curate. You have NaN, make a note, NaN, it stands for not a number. Same thing, try for df.tail. So what df.tail will give me? Since head is giving me the first 5 rows, tail will give me the last 5 rows. Tail will give me the last 5 rows. And also if I want like last 15 rows or 7 rows, I can also give it. How many of you have loaded the data set? I want you all to load the data set and run it. df.headoff and df.tailoff. Once you have completed head off and tail off, put it onto the chat, done. D-O-N-E, done. Just load the data set onto your Colab and then try only 2 functions, df.headoff and tailoff. If you are done with that, give us done. What is the error here that you're getting, Ruchi ma'am? You can take a screenshot of the error and then post it. It's getting loaded. DF or head off and tail off. If you have completed, supposingly not able to post, you can post it. You can just copy it, go to the streams. Okay, click here, attach what you want to attach and give some title, error or something, and then post. Or also post the screenshot onto the Zoom chat also, ma'am, Suruchi ma'am. Or if you want to post it onto my WhatsApp number also, you can do it. I'm sharing my WhatsApp number on chat. Whichever you find it easier and quick, you can make it.
Ma'am, if you don't know, can you tell me once again the procedure?
First open colab.research.google.com. Okay, I've sent you the data set. Upload it onto the upload. Can you keep your mic on mute? It's disturbing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, colab.research.google.com, and then open new notebook, rename it, then give on the first cell import pandas as PD. Okay, then click on this folder onto your top left. Okay, click on this folder onto your top left, and then you will get this symbol. Click it on, then your drive gets mounted. Once your drive gets mounted, you will get a folder called as drive. Underneath you will have your value, what are the files you have in your Google Drive. Ensure that you've uploaded the CSV file, the kidney CSV, onto your Google Drive. Click on the three dots and select copy path, and whereas come in here and give df is equal to pd dot read underscore CSV and the data set. Yes, how many of you have done it? You can give it as done. Ma'am, you have given the path as G sheet, ma'am. Kidney underscore disease dot G sheet is your format that you have given, Suruchi, ma'am. That is what you are getting the error. You need to have your file as CSV. Okay. You can also do it, but it has some work to be done, but this is easier to do it. Otherwise, download it and upload it into your Google Drive. And here you need to see it as CSV. I can see on your screenshot, this G sheet. Can you see here, ma'am? This is G sheet. That is because we're using the function for CSV, not G sheet. That is what you're getting an error here. Yes, please. Others, have you completed? Loading it. Ensure onto your Google Drive. I hope you're able. It should be like kidney underscore disease dot CSV. Kidney underscore disease dot, or you can download it and upload it. Otherwise, if you are all into the Google Classroom, I can also send it as an email to you. Like we have only 17 of you are here. Others, if you have got it, kindly let me know. And otherwise, I can also share a easy method, but it will go off after that when you close Colab. All right. Okay. I'm sending it to you, the kidney data set, as individual email ID to you also. For those who have come into the classroom, I'm able to send it to you as individual emails. From there also you can get your data set, but upload it on your Google Drive as kidney_disease.csv. Those who have not joined the classroom, I could not join. What is the error you're getting, Sarada ma'am? If it is preventing you to join from your college mail ID, maybe in Google Suite, some colleges will have restrictions that they'll be able to use only the college email. Then for those, try to join in using this class into this classroom using your personal Gmail ID, using your personal Gmail ID. How many of you have uploaded the data set onto your core lab? Because it's hands-on. If you could respond, it's easy for me to progress next. If suppose if you are finding difficulty in uploading a data set, right, there is one more option also available. Can you find something like this? Okay, you can click this on and upload it onto your local system, and you can get local session alone. But once you log off, the data set will go, and every time you need to upload it. You can also click this one. Can you see? If you're finding difficulty in uploading, click this one, and then click kidney or underscore disease. Click this one. This is for mounting. Okay, see, it will get deleted after when the runtime is recycled. Once you close it off, it will get deleted. Okay, can you see here? You'll get like this samples underneath. You'll get, and also you can copy that path. But this is the path. I'll just post it as a text here. I'm not going to use it. Can you see? If for local, to be very quick, you can just click it on. If you're not able to upload it on Google Drive, just click this one, the first button here. Click the files and the first button, upload it. You'll get it onto the last. And then copy the path and give the same thing here. But it will go off after you close it. And every time you can upload it until which you resolve your Google Drive. How many of you have loaded the data set at least till this row? Answers on chat. Because it's hands-on, if you're interactive only, it is easy for us to move. It's not a talk that you can listen and listen to it, sit and listen to it. Yes, please. Otherwise, we'll be wasting time. If you are not completing it, I cannot move on to the next step. Data set downloaded, could unable to upload it on Colab. Click on this file on top left. Okay, click on this file on top left, then click this on. If you are finding unable to mount your Google Drive, click the first icon, upload to a session storage, and once you upload it, you will be getting it here. Unable to download Colab. You need not download Colab. Why do you want to download Colab? Need not download Colab. Just click this file. I hope you have all downloaded. I'm sharing the kidney_disease data set in also Zoom chat. Kindly get it. I don't know, 36 of you are here, but in the classroom only few of you are there. That's okay. Now you have got it, right? Download it. Open Colab. And once you open Colab, you will not get Drive if it is not mounted. Just click the first one, the session storage. Click it on. And then upload your kidney_disease data set. It's a local storage. Then it will be down. Click on the 3 dots and copy the path and come here, pd.read_csv kidney_disease.csv. Yes, please. How many of you have done it? Kindly put your answers on chat. Only few of you have given some difficulties. Yes, please. Yeah, done. Thank you, Deepa ma'am. You have done. What about others? Import pandas as PD, then give df is equal to pd dot read underscore csv. The path should be, thank you, Priya ma'am. Yeah, copying the path for loading. Thank you, ma'am. And once it is loaded, you can click this and give copy path. That's it. Yeah, done. Suruchi ma'am, thank you. What about others? I've got responses from 4 out of 37. What about others? Are you doing it? Because it's not a lecture, it's an hands-on session. Okay, now try for this function df.head_of, wherein you'll be able to list out the top 5 few files. Others? Head of and tail of function, your data frame name. This is df is a user defined. I've given as df. Here you can give any names, but not pd, because I've given pandas as pd. So if I've given pd dot read underscore, where is a path df dot head of. How many of you have got df dot head of? At least in the smiley or something, give a like, thumbs up or something like that, so that, or yes, done. It would be easy for me to understand whether you have completed it or not. Yes, please. Yeah, thank you. Rennie Jose, ma'am. Okay, head of, tail of, you have tried. If you want head of and tail of, will give only the first 5 rows and columns. Okay, all the data are loaded one. Thank you. And a tail of will take me the last few rows, and whatever number you give, those numbers will be taken. Okay, and I told you, right, you remember when you load the data set into the pandas, the data type changes to be as data frame, the data type. So if you want to find what is the type of data, I'll put it onto the chat. Type of df, type of df. You put it onto the cell and run it. You can also give shift enter, or you can click this play button, or you can click the play button. Okay, have you got the type of it? Now I showed you a few attributes. Okay, remember few attributes of data frame. Okay, data frame attributes. What are the data frame attributes I showed? You remember? Okay, you're all going to try it right now. The data frame attributes. D types, what is the type of each column? Columns, what are the different columns? Axis. First, we'll try D types and columns. So we have a data frame and df. Okay. So give as df dot d type. So it will tell me what is the data type of each column. What is my data type of each column? Try df dot d types. Can you see integer, float? Okay. Some are objects, some are floats, some are objects. Okay. df dot d types. Then try df dot columns. Okay, df dot columns. It will tell me the list of columns available. Here you see in attributes, I don't have open and close parenthesis. Okay, attributes does not have, but head of, tail of, or data frame functions or methods. But when you don't have open or close parenthesis, it is data frame attribute. df dot d types. Once you have completed the df.d types, df.columns, post it onto the chat, yes or done. How many of you are really working on to it out of 35? Yes. How many of you have completed till df.columns and df.d types? If you have completed, at least unmute your mics and say, is my voice clear or is it breaking? I'm not getting the response. All right. Doing it. Okay, maybe first time if you're doing it, it may look a little different, but still you'll be able to do it. Still now we have taken a data set, loaded it onto the Colab, and then we have used head of function, tail of function. The type of the data frame, the type of pandas is data frame, and then two attributes I told you to try, the data frame dot d types, data frame dot columns, df dot d types, data frame dot columns. Okay, and you get the column names and the column names and its associated data type, associated data type. Okay, df dot shape will show me how many rows and columns. Now try df dot shape and df dot size. Df dot size. That will show me how many 44 rows and 26 columns. So what does shape shape shows me rows and columns? What does size shows me? Deepa ma'am, you can share your error onto the chat or onto my WhatsApp. I've shared my WhatsApp number. You can also share it onto it. Or you can share it onto classroom also. Yeah, now 28 of you have joined. Okay. Yes. Okay. Priya ma'am has come. What's the error you're getting? If you're getting error, kindly be quick to say so it will be easy for me to handle it. Also feel free to unmute and speak. So 4 attributes, D types, columns, shape and size. What does the size say? What does the size say? Can one of you say what does the size represent? What does the size represent? Can one of you say please? Hello, you're all there? Kindly do respond. Post lunch, you all started sleeping? Or you're awake? It's an hands-on session. Once you give a response, it is easy for me. Yes, please quick. How many of you have completed this? So the size represents rows multiplied by columns. Rows multiplied by columns. All right. So 4 attributes we have tried: size, shape, D types, columns. Now try axis and endim. AX, EX and endim. Now try axis and n dimensional. How many dimension is a data set? It is rows and columns. It is rows and columns. So you can give it as df dot axis. All right. Can you see? And how many rows? 0 to 400 rows, and each goes by 1 step. What are the column names? Okay. df dot endim. How many dimensionals? No, it is not that shows in your shape, but n dimension it is only 2 dimension. You have got your x and y columns, the features and your data instance. So n dimension is only 2. Okay, it's only 2 dimensions. But when you see df dot columns, okay, when you see df dot axis, you see two axes, like the rows and the columns. First axis is the rows and next is the columns. So two-dimensional data. But shape shows me the rows and columns, the number of rows and number of columns. All right. And the last one, there are many attributes, and for this discussion, the last attribute that we are going to take is df dot values. Now listen carefully. I told I've taken a CSV file, loaded onto my pandas, wherein the data type turned to be as data frame. All right. And this data frame, okay, is into my variable df. But listen carefully, but the values inside my data frame, okay, the type of my values inside my data frame is a numpy array. Now look on to this very carefully. Type of df, okay, I told you whenever I load my data set into my data frame, into my pandas, it is of data frame. But my values inside my data frame, say type of df dot values, okay, but my values inside my data frame, it is of type numpy n dimensional array. Here now the n dimension is 2. Can you see here? Numpy nd array, n dimensional array. Able to understand? How many of you have completed all the attributes like df dot shape, df dot size, df dot axis, yes, df dot columns, df dot d types, sorry, yeah, df dot shape, df dot endim. These are the attributes that I want you to try. If you have tried, put it onto the chat, done. If not, let me know. If not, let me know, please. I'll also feel free to unmute and speak. Yes, please. Yeah, you're doing it. Okay, I will wait, no problem. I've given all the functionalities on the chat also. And also the data set. Okay. Once you have done, put it onto the chat as done. Yes. Others? Once you are able to do it, then it will be easy. Any doubts till now? Kindly do ask. I got response only from Deepa ma'am. What about others? Others are doing it. Please do response. Please do respond. Yeah, trying. Thank you, Panchavarna ma'am. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Pushpalata ma'am. You're doing it. Okay. If you want to display maximum number of rows and columns, you can use this coding. Okay, PD, the pandas is PD dot set underscore option, display maximum rows 999 and maximum columns 999. In here, you can see in DF of head of and tail of, some of the columns would have not been printed because you have 26 columns, which is more than the default, and that is what we have given here. Since I've ran that code, it is able to do it. So you can do the settings. What is the error that you're getting, Deepa ma'am? If you could share it onto my WhatsApp number or onto the chat or onto the classroom, it will be easy for me to figure it out. Or try to unmute and name error. You cannot share. If it is Google Meet, I can ask you to share your screen. But rather, yeah, share the error, ma'am. I will be able to figure it out. What is the error? Yes, please, others. Or you're just connected or you're trying. Feel free to ask. Sometimes for you, it could be new. Feel free to ask. As many of you are connected, but I'm not getting response from all. Because if it is a demo session, I'll just run it and then go off. Because it's hands-on, I wish everybody you get an answer to it. Yes, please. Others are trying. Yes, no, yes. At least unmute and speak, please. I hope you're able to hear me. Hello? Yes, please. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sometimes I think that I'm not being here. Anybody is trying right now? Deepa ma'am, you can share what's your error. Please do make it fast. Okay. Yeah, I could see here. DF is not defined. Have you defined when you read your CSV file? When you read your CSV file, whether you have read it as DF here, whether this line you have run it, ma'am? Once you close it and open it, because Python is an interpreted language, it will all go. Again, you have to run it. Import pandas, DF, have you done this? Have you given DF here? Recheck once. It clearly it is saying DF is not defined, which means this cell has not been run. Try to run it once again.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Others you are able to follow. You have taken the data set, loaded onto the Colab. All right. And then we have used functions like head of, tail of, and we have completed the attributes. Yes. I want you all to be a little more quick. I think you're very slow. Once you're slow, less, the amount of level you learn also will be low. You know, slow word as the word low. Yes, be quick, be quick, be quick. Okay, moving on to the functions or the methods, data frame methods, df dot head of. Okay, and this is to draw.
वो नोट किनारे रख दो बच्चे एक सेकंड मेरे को हाँ बच्चा हाँ हाँ हाँ
Okay. You can put your mics on it. Okay. So now we are moving on into the functions. Okay. And see, you have an extra column like df id, right? If you want to drop one column, okay, because it's an extra column, id or the student id of a student or id of a patient is not going to help me at any regard in developing my machine learning algorithm. Df dot drop, what is my column name? Okay, why, listen carefully now, why I'm giving access is equal to 1 means, all right, 1 represents the column, the entire column in place equal to true. When my column has got an id, here my data frame has got a column id, yes, and access is equal to 1, that represents my column, and in place true, the entire column will be dropped. Okay, once I run it and then I run this, you can see my data frame will not have id. Can you see id has been dropped? Try this, df dot drop. The column name, it is case sensitive, should be exactly the same. Access is equal to 1, in place equal to true. I will give you 30 seconds for you to do it. Once the timer goes off, I will be moving on to the next function. If I keep waiting, then that's it. Any doubts, kindly ask. 40 of you are here and I'm not even getting a response from 4 people too. You're doing or you're just simply joined? Deepa ma'am, I know you're doing, you're responding. And there are certain people who have never responded back. Have you dropped this column? You can, now you're getting Deepa ma'am. Now after you ran the DF, are you getting it? And also shared my WhatsApp number. If you get errors, also you can send it on WhatsApp or put it onto the Google Classroom what we have created, or onto the Zoom chat, but be quick. So we have loaded the data set onto the data frame, onto Pandas, and then we have tried the different attributes, and now we are into the functions. Before moving on to the functions, I'm dropping one of the column that is available using drop function. Access is equal to 1, in place equal to true. How many of you have dropped that column? Please do respond. If you've got any difficulties, also share it with me. Yes. The next function is df.headof, and see, I'm going to copy this and paste it because the data headers are not correct, right? It was SU, okay, for sugar, RBC. I can rename it in such a way. First column is age, blood pressure, specific gravity, albumin, all right, albumin. Run from the first, ma'am. Run from the first cell, Deepa, ma'am. Okay, run from the first cell. Okay, as you run also, you can take a simple video of it and also share it with me. I will be able to check it out. Okay, blood pressure. Can you see here how it is given? Age, BP, SG, AL, SU. SG is specific gravity, AL is albumin. So I'm trying to rename my columns. Okay, using the defined red blood cells, the first cells available, the first cell clumps. Okay, the bacteria, it is there, the blood glucose random, the blood urea, the serum, creatine, all right, the sodium, potassium, hemoglobin, all were on small headers. Okay, it was all short forms. I'm renaming it so that I'll be able to understand it more clearly. Okay, you can run the cell. Okay, df dot columns. I'm renaming the columns. So what was existent will be replaced with the column that I have given here. That I have given here. Okay, we were telling you about the descriptive analytics. You remember descriptive analytics? Okay, and now listen carefully. Okay, df dot head of. Okay, okay, if there is no, okay, here you listen carefully. You've got age, blood pressure, specific gravity, albumin, sugar. These are all containing numerical values, right? The blood glucose random, blood urea, serum creatine, okay, which has got, all has got those columns that has got numerical values. I can go in for df dot describe of. Only listen carefully, only for the columns that they have numerical values, but not participants. If you are not speaking, you can put your mics on mute. Yeah, can you see here? Age, blood pressure, it contains the count. Can you see here what is the total number of rows that we had? We had total number of rows 400. But can you see I've got lot of missing values here, lot of missing values here. Okay, I'll be showing a visualization of missing values. So only for the columns, okay, which has numerical values alone will be taken into df.describe of, and also you can find it out in df.dtypes, or there's one more function called df.info. Okay, df.info. You can try it now, df.info. 400 entries, 0 to 399, and what are the column names, and only those that are in float alone, not the objects. Okay, only those that are in float or int alone, only for those columns if you use, this is the descriptive analytics. Okay, yes please. Any doubts, you can unmute, otherwise you can have your mics on mute. How many of you have completed till this? Any errors, put it onto the chat. I'm just checking the chat, the Zoom chat and my WhatsApp chat and classrooms. Like 40 of you are present, but I'm not getting response from any. Yes. Are you all connected? Are you trying it? I don't know how many of you are really trying it. It's not a theoretical session, it's a practical session, and I want you all to try it out. Yeah, Deepa ma'am, I'm regularly getting updates from you. What about the others? I'm not getting any responses. Even if you get error, kindly unmute your mics and let me know, so that we'll be able to edit it or correct the errors. Have you all got describe of? Info of? Okay. Now, see here. See here. I'm going to some objects when you take it directly. Okay, I'm going to take df dot head of only two rows I'm going to take. Okay, here if you see age is an integer or float, here also it is given. See first four columns, can you see first four columns? Like age to sugar, it is only okay, age, blood pressure, specific gravity, albumin, sugar, all integers, and it is shown as float. And when you take from red blood cells to fuzz cells, that blood cell and bacteria, okay, till bacteria, it is only object. So it is correct. The data type is correct. Now listen very carefully. And next from blood sugar till hemoglobin, it is float. So from blood sugar, blood urea till hemoglobin, it is float. But what about this packed cell volume, white blood count and red blood count? Can you see this black packed cell volume? Listen carefully, look onto the screen right now. Don't get yourself distracted. Packed cell volume, white blood cells, red blood cell count. Okay, all the three, it is numerical, but in your data type, how it is been shown? As object. Even when you take directly data sets, some integers will be taken into your data set as float. It will be taken into your data set as float also. So you need to do your typecasting. What you need to do? You need to do your typecasting. But again, when you see from hypertension to class, hypertension is an integer string variable, diabetes mellitus string, coronary artery disease string, all are string. Only these columns, right? From the packed cell volume and the white blood cells, okay, the white blood cells and the red blood count, only these three columns I need to, it is showing as object. It should not show as object, it should be a float. So in pandas there is a function. Now listen carefully. It is called as panda to underscore numeric. Listen carefully. This is a new function that you're learning now. To underscore numeric, it's an inbuilt function. It converts an argument to a numeric type. So what is my problem right now? These three are taken as strings. Okay. Okay, you can also print it and also see. Okay. Say for example, you can ask how, ma'am, you are telling it is float or a string. It looks like number, but how it is shown as object. Okay, I'll take one example of that, like pd.age. Okay, if I want to know the numeric values, df.age dot unique of. So unique of is a function, okay, which will try to get my unique values from my entire data set, even if you're going to load crores of data also. Can you see? NaN, what does it stands for? Not a number, and it is all as integer. And but you can say, how, ma'am, these three things you're saying it as packed cell volume, how you are saying it is an object? Okay, I'm going to take this column, packed cell volume. Okay, and I want one of the participant to tell me what is the difference. Df of dot unique of. It is showing as object. Can you tell me why? Can any one of you tell me why? Hello? Deepa ma'am, the path that you have given is wrong. That is what you are getting an error. Df is equal to pd dot read underscore csv of what? Where have you loaded the path? The cell is not running here. See, it is showing an error. It will not be like slash kidney disease. It will not be slash kidney disease. It will be slash content Where have you loaded it?
Ma'am, loaded from that folder, ma'am. I have copied that path from there. That folder.
No, see, when I
The
copy,
drive is there.
yeah, listen, look into it. When I click on
Yes,
to
ma'am.
this, you are able to see my screen, right? When I go into the drive and I go into my drive,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, and where you
Yes, ma'am.
go down, you'll be getting something like this, ma'am, /content or something.
Yes, ma'am.
But you have given
Yes,
only
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Same I got.
no, but in your screen,
Yes,
see,
ma'am.
listen, 3, if I'm
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
copy the path, my path will be
Yes.
something like this, /content/drive my drive. But on the screenshot that you have shared, okay,
Yes.
it is showing us only /kidney disease. There will not be no path like that. It will be maybe /content/my drive, because it doesn't define a complete path here. That is what you're getting an error. Give the complete, you copy the path and paste the path, and also paste it to my chat. I will check it out whether the path is right. Okay, once
Yes.
that is done, everything.
Ma'am, what I had that folder, I will show that folder also, ma'am.
Yeah, you just click on the 3 dots on the CSV top and then give copy path, and give the copy path, and that path alone you have to give it. Where have you uploaded?
Ma'am, I have downloaded it from my
No, this is on a different path you have loaded. It is not onto your drive. If it is on your drive, it's not on your drive. You have clicked the first path, this one. Okay, it should not be there. It should be onto your drive, inside your drive folder, or you just click this on and upload it to your sample data here. Any one path you can choose, but you can see the other files like etc and all. The path is not right.
Ma'am, if we download that file in the system,
No, even if you have downloaded, again upload it onto Google Drive, or load it onto your local sample data for local system, and once you come out, that also will get deleted. Okay. Okay. So till this, how many of you have completed?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Keep trying the other codes. Maybe after the session, I can, if you come on a video call or something, I'll be able to rectify it for you. But keep typing the other comments. Okay. So describe of.
Actually, we need to convert that Excel file into CSV. Then it recognizes that.
No, then
otherwise it considers that .csv as part of name of the sheet only.
No, I've not done anything. I've just given it as a CSV file. See on my screen, I've just uploaded a CSV. Can you see? This is what I've shared it with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Just load
but by
it.
default, when we opened your file, it considered it as Excel sheet. So I downloaded it and converted. I just saved as CSV, then it recognized it.
Okay. But if you open it and save it, it will show like Excel. But when you download it and immediately if you upload it onto your Google Drive, okay, it will be a CSV file. It will not be an Excel file.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now, say, can you see here, age, there is no there is no highlighted as object here. Can you see? So whenever only for strings you will have an commanded path onto the top. Can you see here? like string. So, but it is actually a numeric, but my data type it is taken as object, but here it is an array, which is an integer. So there are 3 columns. This is what you're doing, a diagnostic analysis. Can you see the diagnostic analysis? So here these 3 columns should be packed cell volume, white blood cell count, and red blood cell count should be integers or float. But by some way or the other, when I loaded my data set, it has taken to be an object. So I need to typecast it. So here for typecasting, the function is pd dot to underscore numeric. Okay, df dot, so converting an argument to the numeric type. If it is integer, it will convert to be an integer. If it is a float, it will be converted to be a float. Okay, and also there is error COERCE. If there is no values, if it is an empty, that particular cell is empty, it will convert to be as NaN, where NaN stands for not a number. Yes, so now I'm going to convert, okay, the packed cell volume PD to read PD dot to underscore numeric, the column name, comma. So now if I run df dot dtype, the 3 columns alone, there was error. These things are called diagnosis. Once you do a descriptive analytics and you find the data type, if it is within the parenthesis or within the quotes, if it is within the quotes, it is a object, which is the string, which should not be there. So only if you do an exploratory data analysis, when you do a descriptive analytics only, you will try to find it out there is an error. You have diagnosed an error, not all the columns, only the 3 columns. So that 3 columns are converting into numeric. So that functionality is called pd dot to underscore numeric. Okay, packed cell volume, comma, error COERCE. If why this error, suppose if one cell is not going to have any values, it will going to give us not a number. Now if I see my data type, the packed cell volume, white blood cells and red blood cells, automatically it is converted to be a float. Now my data is clear. Okay, can you try this now? I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes. Please do try it. I want all the participants to give some responses. Then only I will come to know.
Doing, ma'am.
Yes, please. Thank you. Deepa ma'am, I always get response from Deepa ma'am and Suruchi ma'am, but not from others. Yes. If you are getting errors, kindly let me know. So this is how you're converting in necessary. Only if you do a descriptive analytics, you will be able to see how you're able to diagnose, right? 3 columns, whereas strings, rather it should be integers. That is what you're converting it to be to numeric, to underscore numeric. How many of you are connected into this meeting now? Just type Y on the chat. Let me see how many of you are typing Y. If you are listening to this talk or you're connected to this session right now, I want you all to type only Y on the chat. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 responses out of 38. 4. Quick. Just type Y on the chat. You do the program or not. I just want you to know whether you're listening to this talk and you're connected. And this is a good intimator for the organizers also to find it out how many of them are really connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5. 6. 7. Just type Y on the chat. This is what is your attendance been taken for the session. Yes, Sarada ma'am, your coordinator, it's a good recall for you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Deepa ma'am, default you are there. And Suruchi ma'am. What about others? If you're connected, type only Y on the chat. Others are not connected. Mm-hmm. This college has taken so much of pain to connect and work this workshop, make it useful. Yes? How many of you have got this? Have you converted to 2 numeric? If you have done, give done. Only 3 columns need to be changed. Copy the code and keep, or write it and keep. If you are getting an error and uploading a data, post which you'll be able to try it out. Yes, please. Yes. Okay. So now we have converted a D types of only those 3 columns here. You are able to understand? Okay. Yeah. One now I've got a response from Avinash, Shanti ma'am. Maybe you try to work it on, Deepa ma'am. But you have uploaded onto the wrong path. It should be click on the, once you click this on, okay, you have clicked on some other component, it should be this one. Inside this, you have clicked this one and you have uploaded it. Look onto my screen, you have clicked this one, don't click that. You have uploaded onto this path. I know this path, you have uploaded onto that. But click on this path and then upload it onto this. All right. Okay. And click on my drive. Inside my drive, you try to check where it is available. Inside my drive, try to check where it is available. You have loaded onto this path, not this, but onto this. I told this path, why? Because if your drive has not been mounted, then click this path. This is type 2, where it will be loaded onto your, not onto your Google Drive, but sample data. But once you close it, it will also go off. And every time you need to upload your data set. Okay. And now I'm going to see, I've got 2 types of data type. Okay. On my, now listen carefully. Look onto the project. I've been used up with the live session, so that I'm telling you, look onto the projector. No. So if I see data types, there are 2 data types. One is a numerical data type, one is a categorical data type. Listen carefully. Numerical is, it could be an integer or float. Okay, categorical means it is numbers like yes or no, present, absent. Okay, so here I have these columns. Now look onto this, these 4 columns, which has got an object type. All right. And then these columns, hypertension. So these columns have got object types. So if I again try to show to you with the df dot head of 2, just I'm going to give you 2, just I want few samples. All right. See, age, blood pressure, specific gravity, albumin. Okay, red blood cells from first cells. Okay, here can you see from red blood cells, okay, till bacteria 4. These are all categorical values. Normal, not present, present, okay, till bacteria. So these are categorical columns. Listen carefully, these are categorical columns. Again, when you come this side, Okay, from blood sugar, okay, till the last one, till this red blood cells. From blood urea, okay, sorry, now from blood sugar till red blood count, it is flowed. And then again from hypertension till the class, it is a categorical. So I'm going to extract my columns. Okay, I'm going to extract my columns into categorical columns and numerical columns. Okay, so if I want to use cat, I'm declaring a variable dot cat underscore call, which is equal to col. I'm using a for loop in Python for call in df dot columns. You know what is df dot columns? It is the entire columns. Df of call dot d types is equal to object or not equal to object. If it is object, it goes to categorical plot. If it is not equal to object, it is going to numerical columns. I'm going to, from my data frame, because I'm doing an exploratory data analysis, I'm going to split my columns into, listen carefully, categorical columns as a separate data frame and numerical columns as a separate data frame. That is what I'm doing here. Now, if I show you cat underscore calls dot head of, I will have a data frame. Okay, it's a list. Okay. For call, because it's a list I'm using for call and cat calls, I'm printing the column names and the unique values. So there are two things. Okay, unique, if I give df dot n unique of, okay, n unique will give me my entire data frame, how many number of unique values. So age has got 76 unique values, blood pressure has got 10, specific gravity has got 5, n unique of. Okay, sugar, can you see these have got so many. You need to know about these unique values, the reason behind. Then when you go in for plotting on your x-axis, imagine if 146, then it does not give you a good visualization, right? So you need to know how many unique values. And if I want to see from only one column, right, df dot appetite dot unique of. If I give for one column unique of, that particular column, how many soever my data set, it has got good or poor or not a number. What are the unique values? To list the unique values, you need to use unique of function. If you want to know the number of unique values, you can give the exact data frame and give n unique of. I repeat it. If you want to know the number of distinct elements in your all the columns of your data frame, give df dot n unique of, the number of unique. If you want to know the unique values of a particular column alone, then give df dot that column dot unique of, not n unique of, give unique of. Try these two right now. Df dot n unique of df dot column. Say for example, if urea, right, is 118, I will also get here df dot unique of 118 values. I'd be listing it. I've tried it with even 20 lakhs of data, 50 lakhs of data. It pretty works. Can you see? All the unique values will be generated. Any doubts till now? If you click that path, try to upload Deepa ma'am. Now I'm seeing it on. Click the path, it is opening, right? Click, you are correct now. Click where you search for kidney underscore data.csv and upload the path. Then you can see it down on the sample data sets. It is not a download dialog box, it's an upload dialog box.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. N unique and unique of. Able to understand n unique, number of unique values, unique of the number of values, it will list the unique values, not the number, unique values. If you give the entire data frame dot unique of, n unique of, you will get all the columns, number of unique values. But if you give for one particular column dot unique of, for that particular column, what are the unique values from your entire data set will be listed. So till now we have seen data frame attributes, data frame methods, all right, in attributes like size, shape, right, axis, columns, all right, columns, and then D types. Then coming to functions, we have tried drop off function, head of function, tail of function, two numeric function, unique of function, n unique of function, all right. Yeah, and describe of function for descriptive analytics, dot info of function, right, df dot info. So many functions we have seen. All right, have you all tried unique of and n unique of? I'm using a column for column dot cat underscore calls, which is there here, categorical columns. It's a list. I can also show you the type, because when you use for loops, right, you need to know it's not a data frame. Type of cat underscore calls. It will show me what is my data type. Okay, it's list. So from the list, it is going to take first variable, red blood cells, and unique of function. Try this. Only for categorical values. You can see it is all categoricals, right? No numerical values. Now you see there is something that you need to go on for data cleaning, or you call it as data curation. /t/s is there. When you take data directly from a device or from satellite, you get these kind of values, and you really need to curate these values. /t/t, can you see? We'll be going into the data curating or cleaning of this data. I'll let you know. First try, even though if you don't try this, that's okay. Try unique of and n unique of. Yes, please. Nobody is giving the answer as done. And after the session, whatever you have tried, okay, your collab or whatever it is, share it here onto your classroom. You have an option called upload, right? Or the link. You can share the link also. You will get a link here. If you click share notebook, you will get a link. You can copy the link and paste it onto the Google Classroom, so that when you get some errors, it will be easy for us to find it out. Can you see something as link here? You can copy the link. Okay. For me, since I'm using it from my G Suite, it is showing like this. Okay. You can share and then come here. There's an option called link. Click link, and you can write your name, and you can write your notebook like kidney or something. Then you can post it. Okay. How many of you have tried unique of and n unique of? Deepa ma'am, keep trying it. Maybe after the session. Let me keep trying the commands. Maybe after the session, we'll have a video call or something and check it out on your collab. Okay. How many of you have tried Unicef and N-Unicef? Hello? Not getting responses. Sleeping awake? Well, you are all present? Okay. Now I told, right, we have some, this is what you, in your exploratory analysis only, you are trying to find it out. There is something called \T, where and all, see, red blood cells, you need not do any curation of data. First cells, you need not do any curation. First cell clumps, you need not do. Bacteria, you need not do hypertension. See, only in diabetes mellitus, there is a, there is an escape delimiter, right, \T. So diabetes mellitus, you need to work it on. Coronary artery disease, for only number, no, you have to work it on. And CKD, you need to work it on. So when you do an exploratory data analysis only, you'll know there is some correction on it. So diabetes mellitus. In diabetes mellitus, no and yes. So I'm going to use another function called df, that column name dot replace. Okay, to underscore replace. Okay, this is a dictionary. When I use a curly brace, it denotes a dictionary. \T to no, \yes to yes, and yes to yes. There is something with a space. Can you see? This is also showing us a new variable. Can you see there is a space? Only when you do an exploratory data analysis, you'll try to understand this. Okay, and I'm replacing that space with a yes, that space with a yes. All right. Can you see before there is something called space? So in place equal to true. And in artery, I have only no, so I'm replacing the to no to no /t no to no. And then and the classes I've got CKD is chronic kidney disease, and /t is there. So /t, I'm going to make it as CKD, and not CKD, I'm going to give it as not space CKD. Okay, I'm replacing my incorrect values to correct values. So this is what is all about exploratory data analysis. This is all about, you are exploring it and then you're trying to find it out whether you have got an error and you're correcting the errors now. Can you try these things now? You have to give the column name dot replace, open parenthesis, to column, then dictionary. It is the key, it is the value, it is the key, it is the value, it is the key, it is the value, dot in place equal to true. And again, this is the key, this is the value. In dictionary, everything in Python works with key value pairs. Okay. Yes. And next, what I'm going to do is that df of class. Okay, I'm going to use another function called map. Okay, what this map is going to do, CKD of 0. Okay, if they have got a disease, it is 0. If they don't have a disease, it is 1. If they have a disease, it is 0. If they don't have a disease, it is 1. So I'm going to map CKD to 0 and non-CKD to 1. And again, you remember we used this function before, to underscore numeric, and converting df.class.errors of COERCE. I'm going to convert it to be numeric. Okay, once I run this. Now, df.dtypes, the class would have been changed to, float. Can you see? It is changed to float. So columns is equal to the 3 columns, whatever I've changed. Now I'm seeing the values. Okay. And it's all yes, no, not a number. It's not a categorical because I've converted into numeric now. Can you all respond how far you have completed? Because I generally conduct and people all respond, but I'm not getting good responses from you whether you're trying to do or not able to do. Only 2 of them had doubts and they responded. The others, I'm not getting a response. Are you trying it? If you are not understanding, yeah, I can understand you had problems in uploading your data set. But it's quite easy, ma'am. Just you need to click on this file folder. If you're not able to load it onto Google Drive, click on this file folder on your top left. And on the first thing, if you click, it will ask you for upload, then select your data set and you can upload it. Then you'll get the path. Yes. Okay, just click this, Deepa ma'am. Click this file here. For those who are not able to mount your Google Drive, click this onto your Colab, onto your top left. There is a files. Okay, there is files. Click it on. Then click this one. You see an upper arrow, not this, not this. Beneath your files, you've got 3. This is to mount your drive. Some of you are finding difficulty in mounting your drive, and then you'll get like this. Okay, I'll try to upload some other thing. Maybe in my downloads. See, I'm going to upload something called soil data. Okay, when I click it on, I can upload because I've already uploaded. Click on this file, then one opens, then a file explorer opens. Select the file that you want to load. This is for those who are not able to upload in Google Drive. Okay, once you upload, you'll get somewhere down. When you come down, you'll see sample data. See here, can you see soil underscore data? Now, for already I've made as kidney data. I don't want to replace it. Okay, even for kidney data, here you click it on, then copy the path. So I'm going to use something like kd equal to pd dot read underscore csv within quotes, and this is the same data set. I'm using it on to another data frame because I'm using this data frame for pd dot head of. This is how you'll be able to upload take your data set. Can you see? Yeah, down you can see, ma'am, this is right. Kidney underscore disease, right? Under sample data. This is correct. Click this path here. Oh no, this is my thing. It's not yours. Not this. This one you need to click it onto the top. Yes, you can just show me what is onto the right. Select kidney and then open. Select kidney underscore disease and open, and beneath you will get it. Okay. Let's see even after that. Others, anybody are working or you're getting it? It's an hands-on session, but your response is too low. Hello? If you're finding it difficult, kindly unmute your mics and say, be able to figure it out. But if you're silent, it is difficult whether you're following it or not. The college and the organizers has taken immense effort in conducting this, but if there is not good output, it is not useful. Okay. How many of you have understood till now what we have done? If you have understood, type on the chat you. Type on the chat you. Only 2 responses out of 42. 3. Able to follow. Okay. But once you really, I want you all to try it out. Okay. So now moving on to your visualization of data. Actually, we have planned for the session. I don't know, only if you give a responses, it will be easy for me to follow according to the schedule. All right. This is how we have planned. So morning we had analytics, introduction, and now we are into a exploratory data analysis. Once you have done, then we'll move on into the algorithms and performance metrics. And then I don't know, if you have time, we will be knowing into our image data set. Okay. Yeah. Now moving on to visualization. Now you're able to understand when we do a descriptive analysis, trying to understand the data, you're able to find the errors of it. One error, one it should be float, it was object. Then we have changed it using 2 underscore numeric. And then we were able to see some data set has /t, you need to curate it. So we use 2 underscore replace function. And then we have changed our target. If the people have got disease, okay, if CKD is 0, if there is no disease, it's 1. Likewise, we have changed here, right? If we have used map function, okay, map function to change if they have got disease and the value is 0, the label is 0. If they have no disease, then it is 1. All right. And coming into a visualization, there are other 2 packages that we're going to see now, which is called as matplotlib. Okay, and matplotlib is visualization for different charts, graphs, plots. All right, and then higher level of it, the higher level of visualization in comparison with matplotlib is called as Seaborn. It's the Seaborn. It's the Seaborn. Okay. Okay, so what I'm listen carefully. So import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. I'm using matplotlib.pyplot, pyplot. I'm using the package inside my matplotlib for plotting as PLT. Furthermore, I'll use PLT. And for Seaborn, I'm importing, renaming, aliasing it as SNS. Instead of using Seaborn every time, I'm going to use it as SNS. All right. So I'm going to use count plot. Okay, I'm going to use count plot where I'm going to use something called as value underscore counts. Okay, value, it counts the what happens behind. I'll tell you, it does the value underscore counts. So what is my class? How many zeros? How many ones, right? So I'm going to use sns.count plot of 0 means they have disease, 1 means they have not disease. So in my entire data set of 400, like almost 250 has got disease and almost 150 they don't have disease. So this is a simple visualization. SNS.count plot. What column I want? X could be given or also you can remove X. But what column name you need to give, and data is a keyword. Listen carefully. Data is a keyword. Data equal to, you have to give your data frame. Okay. df dot class dot unique of okay, there is a runtime error that has happened. Yeah. Okay, I'll try to run all the cells from the first. The binding has been removed. That's what I'm getting that error. Now let me run all the cells. Now once I come to that point, because Python is interpreted language, very rarely it happens. Once it is running, the cell number keeps changing. Okay. Let me try because it's taking class. Zeros and 1. X is equal to class. Yeah, now I got it. I told you, right? Sometimes the binding problem happens in interpretation. So X axis, I'm taking my classes. 0 means, tell me what is 0 and what is 1. 0 is a disease or not disease. Those are listening to the talk and give their response onto the chat. This is a count plot. Those are trying. That's just one line that you could try. But tell me what is 0 and tell me what is 1. And I converted also, I've told you. 0 means they have got disease or they have not got disease. 0 means yes, CKD, and 0 means they have disease. 1 means they don't have disease. So from this graph, can you tell me in this data set from this graph what you're able to understand? Who has got more disease? In this data set of 400 instance, the data set has got with disease or more or without disease or more? With disease or more or without disease or more? Yeah, with disease or more. Thank you, Shanti ma'am. Thank you, Deepa ma'am. With disease or more. Thank you, Sudha ma'am. All right. So this is what is your inference. So in my data set, sometimes you have a totally imbalanced, it is okay kind of data set, but some data set you have imbalanced data set wherein you need to go on for smooth or oversampling methods. All right, oversampling methods. Well done. And there are different color palettes available. Okay. There are different color palettes available. So color, this is a default one, this blue and orange. Okay. So what are the different color palettes? It's a function. SNS dot color palette. These are the different color palettes available. Okay. And see, I'm going to use my x-axis as any one of my column name. First, I used count plot for my class alone. What is my target here in my data set? My target is my class. You remember, my target is my class, whether there is a disease or not, CKD. Okay. So CKD 0 means there is disease. CKD 1 means there is no disease. So I'm going to give another column, same count plot. I can give X. I'm going to give coronary artery disease, heart disease. Okay. If the heart disease is yes and the disease is yes, or if the heart disease is no and the kidney disease is available. So when they have an artery, okay, there is a presence of disease. Okay. And when there is no, when there is, what do I say, when there is no heart disease, okay, but also there is presence. But what does not happen? See, if I'm going to show you the same thing. Here I'm using my color palette as rocket. There are different palettes which gives you beautiful visualization. If I'm going to do it like the same way, but only the palette I'm changing, without hue, it tells me the target. You see something on the small box, right? See, with heart disease, there are more people, sorry, less people. Without heart disease, there are more people. So you can find whether people having heart disease will also have kidney disease or not. Okay, this is just a count without artery, without heart disease and with heart disease. And here with heart disease and with heart disease and with CKD is there, but with heart disease and no CKD, there is no person here. Can you see? There's no person here. But when you see people don't have a heart disease, but still they don't have heart disease, there is equal distribution of kidney disease for both people with heart disease and without kidney and without kidney disease, chronic kidney disease. So this is how you will be able to write inference from this. Okay. And next, this here I've used the palette as rocket. Okay. There's another palette called Mako. Okay. Here I'm going to find whether people having tension, hypertension, I don't know. People having hypertension, and my hue is my target. Can you see? And without hue, it just give me the yes and the no count. If there is hypertension, there is disease, yes. There is hypertension, there is no disease, nobody has got. If there is no hypertension, but the disease is present for both. Presence of kidney and or kidney disease and also not present of kidney disease. Okay. So now I want you to try the count plot. First try this count plot. And then we'll go on. You try to take any of the columns, but ensure when you use like df dot n unique of, take your x-axis that has minimum number of df dot n unique of. Okay, take columns that has less number of unique values. See here, can you see? Like 5, 6 is okay. Say for example, if I'm going to use with more number of columns, okay. And also you can use set 2, set 3. I'll show you one example, sns.count plot. Say for example, a red blood cell count. See how the graph doesn't come? It won't come properly. Okay. More number of columns, more number of columns. See, the graph doesn't look. Then you need to go on for a figure resizing. We'll be seeing that. But now for today's session, I want you all to try the count plot with different palettes. Try to try with only, it's very simple, sns.count plot. Give one column name, give hue as class, because you'll be able to find with this parameter is going to have a very influencing factor or correlation towards your target. Give data as equal to df, the data frame, and give any palette, rocket or Mako or set 2 or set 3 or something or the other. How many of you have tried count plots till now? The first count plot at least. Yes, feel free to ask questions. We have mapped it like 0 means they have a disease and 1 means they don't have a disease. I'll give you 2 minutes. Once you have tried your count plot, put on your answers as done. Your data you have loaded and x is equal to class and data is equal to df. If you don't do an hands-on and keep listening, you cannot learn. You cannot learn. Kindly try to do this count plot, and once you have done, give on your chat as done. Yes, please. Are you responding? Yeah, keep trying it. Only I'm getting response from Deepa ma'am, and few less than 10. I don't know others. You're simply connected and you started it and you left, or still you're listening to it. Some of you are connected, but I'm not getting any response from you. Thank you, Shanti ma'am. Others, if you're trying, post on the chat as trying, or you have done it, post it on the chat as done. Let me see how many of you are really currently connected and you're present. This is the challenges we face. Evening we'll try to do. Thank you, Panjavarnam ma'am. I hope I'm spelling your name right. Once you don't write out, then it will not be of use, I can tell you. Because 3 days, try to use it to the maximum. You will learn things. It's not only understanding concept, it's not teaching. Once you learn these concepts thoroughly, through you, thousands of students can be trained. You know, I'm taking classes online, offline for a set of research scholars faculties. But SAIRAM college, group of institution, especially Department of IT of SAIRAM Engineering College, they're doing it as free of cost. Kindly capture this opportunity and try to enrich your knowledge. Don't take things for granted. And they've tried contacting me for more than 2 or 3 months. Adeline ma'am has contacted and blocked the dates. And try to use it. And feel free to ask questions. I've put my answers numbers on chat. If you're not getting, try to contact. And whenever I'm available, I'll be able to respond you back. Okay. And here in, you can tomorrow, before you come tomorrow's class, try to change the column values here, and also different palettes, right? These are different palettes. You can use like palettes like Rocket, okay, like see RDCs, I've told, macos 1 packet, and set 2, okay. But on your x-axis, try to find it out with less number of unique values. Okay, I told you this data set has got missing numbers. You remember I told you about this data set has got missing numbers. So in order to have a visualization of missing numbers, there is a package called missing NO. I'm going to have it as MSNO. Okay, some names I'm just giving. I'm going to give it. Okay, some names I'm going to give it. Okay. So I've imported my package, another package introducing to you, which is called MSNO, and I'm going to use MSNO dot bar of DF. Okay, so in one graph, I will be able to find which column has got the missing numbers. See, how many columns? We have so many columns. So from this, can you tell me which column has got maybe I'll try to reduce the zooming. Mics on mute, please. Okay. Can you tell me which column has got more missing values and which column doesn't have a missing value? Yeah, now I think you'd be able to see. I want the responses from the participants. This is a visualization of missing values. Even if you have like 1 lakh data, 20 lakhs of data, still this visualization works. Okay, I want any response from the audience, from the participants. Class has more missing values. No, it shows how many, this has no missing values. All the values are present in my total data set is 400 and I've got all 400 numbers. So there is no missing values in class. 248, which column, which features? Which features? Which feature? Okay, red blood cells. Okay, red blood cells. So you're able to visualize it.
Red blood cells.
Okay, you're able to see from one visualization. Even if you've got lakhs and lakhs of data, you will be able to figure it out. Okay, you will be able to figure it out. So now I told you, remember, if you have what do I say, if you have any missing values, you cannot write your machine learning algorithms. Okay, so this is another matrices which shows me. Can you see? This class is fully black, which means there is no missing values. And throughout from 1 to 400, which are the columns, in which rows you have got a missing values, you can find it out in msno.matrix. And also it provides an heat map. Okay, msno.heat map of DF. First I showed you about the matrix, then the heat maps. Can you see in your heat map? How many missing values, the intensity of missing values. You said red blood cells, can you see missing values? But in class, you will not be able to see any missing values. The class column itself is not here because there is no missing values. So this is how you cannot go one by one, okay, if you have more number of data, but through this visualization, you will be able to do it. All right. So in today's session, we started with different kinds of morning session. We had the introduction of 4 analytics and where and how you need to work with classification, clustering, and regression. And then we started loading a data set into Colab. All right, and then we were able to load it, and we have loaded it into Pandas. And Pandas, we tried different attributes and different functions. Okay, and the functions, the attributes are data types, D types, the size, the shape, the axis, the n dimension, the columns, and functions head off, tail off, info off, right? To numeric, to replace, dot map, and you are able to find some values were not clean, then we are able to do the curation process. And now we need to handle off with the missing numbers. This we have seen. I wish the participants to try it out and share it on the Google Classroom that I've shared it with you. And again, sharing it because the data set is available there. You can take the data set and keep working on it, try it out. And without hands-on session, this session will not be fruitful. Once you try it out, then only it will become fruitful to you. If you got any answers, I've given my contacts on the chat. You can contact me. Okay, if you're getting any errors, but I want you all to try it out, then it will become useful to you. Over to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session. This session was very informative and the concepts were clear, ma'am. Thank you for the session, ma'am. I request the participants to clarify the query if any.
Thank you. Any queries? Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am, I think there's no queries. So finally, we have reached the end of the session. I would like to thank each and everyone who contributed to the success of the event. The feedback link is shared in the chat box. I request the participants to complete the feedback procedure and they can leave the meet. I request the participants to join at sharply 10 a.m. tomorrow for the next session. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you all.
Welcome you.